Hi, everybody, and happy Friday. I hope everyone had a good week out there. Steve Thorne here with another Community Spotlight show. And that's Matt's favorite expression. First, we kind of used it back and forth, a little bantering against someone else that overused it. And the next thing you know, Matt's using it all the time.
Oh, my goodness. I caught on to it.
You picked up on it, I tell you. Anyway, it's good to be here with Triple M, Marvelous Matt McNeil, running the board, and my little sidekick here on this show. Really enjoy working with you, Matt.
Thank you.
So I've got a few interesting things to talk about today, but one thing that I thought was fun was when I look up this day in history, and being that I don't have the music show anymore, I've had, again last week, someone says, I sure miss that music show. Well, I thought I'd throw a little tidbit out there of music history on this day. And this is an interesting fact that I saw on music history on this day. On this day in 1966, the Dave Clark Five performed on the Ed Sullivan Show for a record 12 times. It was their 12th time on the show. And for you older listeners that remember, the Ed Sullivan Show launched the careers of so many artists, comedians, musicians of all types. And if you got on the Ed Sullivan Show, the next thing you know, if you were a musician, your records were selling the next day. They sold out of every store. I mean, it made such a world of difference. And, of course, there's some fun memories of the Ed Sullivan Show, like when they first put Elvis on, because he danced kind of wildly and shook his hips, they had a black screen across the bottom half of the picture. So you could only see him from his belt up. So you didn't see him wiggling.
I've heard about that.
Unbelievable. And, of course, when the Beatles came on, they didn't need any help selling. And they were on the Ed Sullivan Show a couple times. But Ed himself was taken back because even the people in the Ed Sullivan audience, they screamed constantly. The girls just screamed in hysteria. Well, as I mentioned, it's interesting how different acts, different people were able to be on more than once, more than twice, but a record 12th appearance by the Dave Clark Five on this day in 1966. Let's hear a really cool classic song by the Dave Clark Five that was originally a B-side of a 45 single. Tell me how many people out there remember this one. It's simply called Because.
It's right that I should care about you and try to make you happy when you're blue. It's right to feel the way I a chance to be near you. Because I love you. Give me one kiss and I'll be happy. Just to be with you. Give me a chance to be near you. Because I love you. Because I love you.
The Dave Clark Five with their hit song, Because. Yep, imagine that, 1966, 12th time on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I'll bet you that all those 45s sold out the next day. Matt, you know, I always like to say that I like to start each week's show with a dedication, most often a memorial, but sometimes to a living person or persons, or even a place or an event. Well, today I'm going to talk about a unique item that has been in Elgin since 1901. 1901, my goodness. The year before my grandma was born. The year my great-grandparents got married. But it was also the year that Elgin Country Club was founded. The reason I bring it up is that tomorrow they are having their 125th anniversary party. Elgin Country Club, to most of you out there, is a place that maybe you have seen, maybe you visited, but I've had the fortune of having so many memories and growing up there. I saw many, many changes as I continually see them, and I'll be actually doing a talk at the gala tomorrow night about what life was like growing up in the 60s at the club as a little boy and seeing the changes that I remember. And I also interviewed a man on the phone who I wanted to have accompany me to the event, but he wasn't able to. He's 88 years old. And when he grew up as a little boy, they lived in a small house on the grounds of Elgin Country Club. His name is Tom Leith. And Tom's father, Willie Leith, was the golf professional at Elgin Country Club from 1928 till 1962.
Wow.
He actually made my first set of golf clubs when I was a little toddler. And he cut down a club and drilled out a number of holes were drilled in the bottom of the iron so that it was lighter. Mm-hmm. And then he put electrical tape on for a grip. Mm-hmm. And I still have it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really neat.
Wow.
So it's kind of fun to have that, and I have a picture of me. It looks like I'm about 4 years old and holding the club. So it's really fun. But Elgin Country Club, founded in 1901, through 1928, it was just 9 holes on a lot of hills out there. And then they leased the land up until that point. Then they purchased the land from the Weld family. And many of you have been out west and west of town, and you've seen Weld Road. Well, Weld Road is the address for the country club, but back in the day, that was Route 20. Route 20 was Weld Road, and then they modernized it, and it's just 50 feet to the north of it. And Weld Road, you have to exit way up west or by Target. And all that property there, when I was little, Target, Hobby Lobby, Burlington Coat Factory, the post office, all of that, none of that was there. That was just all farmland. There was an old barn right there at the curve, a great big cream-colored barn. I still remember it. Part of the foundation still there. There was also a farm where Williamsburg Green is, now the fancy homes just to the west of Elgin Country Club. None of those homes were there. It was all farms. And so I grew up at the country club, and the way the country club was formed, it became 18 holes in 1928 or 9, but 3 of the holes were what is now the practice range. When you drive in the club, or what you can see from the road, that's the practice range now. But that was originally this, after they made it 18 holes from 1928 and 9, that was holes number 7, 8, and 9. 7, you teed off up by the clubhouse and came all the way down. 8 was a little bitty 108-yard par 3 that went straight across at the bottom. And then 9 was a long, beautiful hole that came all the way up the hill to the old practice putting green. And I remember playing those 3 holes as a fun thing. I mean, it was changed in 1950, so it was before I was born, 5 years before I was born, but it's still fun. And I have an original scorecard that includes those holes that shows my dad. It was from my dad, and his score is on it. And I think he shot a 75 that day. And some other man in the group shot a 99. But it was, it's neat to have that. And I went out to the club and had them make a copy of it so they have it on display for everybody to see. But it's going to be a fun event tomorrow, and 125 years, and there's been so many changes. If you're standing in the parking lot and you're looking at the clubhouse, that clubhouse was built in 1928. The original clubhouse was out on the first hole, and you teed off behind it. And so it was interesting that the course layout, they have a book out, and the book is The History of Elgin Country Club. And this was done by the late Chuck Emmert, a very good friend of my dad's. And, I just thought the world of Chuck. And he wanted to do part 1 and part 2, but sadly he didn't make it. He passed away earlier, and after the first one came out. But I've gone through that and read a lot of neat history in there, and it's just so interesting to learn how the course was put together and what it was all about in its early days. And I also was proud to see some pictures of my dad in there, so that's always fun. And so there's a lot of articles in this book from the Courier News, because the Courier News published a lot of things about the country club. Early on, it was all Elgin people. It was all Elgin people that lived there. It wasn't fancy as it is today. Today, it's very expensive, and it's a lot of money to be able to play there. Here is a picture of my dad, and let's see where.
I can bring it up on the screen on my end.
Right there.
You want me to?
Right there is Dad in this book from 1948. But it was pretty neat that my dad played there in the 30s, and 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, 2000s and 2010s.
Wow.
So he played there in 9 different decades. And it's pretty neat history for that. He was also the oldest member ever, the longest serving member. He was a member for 67 years. Pretty amazing.
Wow.
So congratulations to Elgin Country Club, 125 years. My Model T was only 22 years old when the country club was founded. So they want me to bring it out there and put it on the first tee, but I'm concerned about the weather. You know, if I get it out there, then how am I going to get it home and when?
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see. Maybe I can do that. But if you know anybody that is connected out there, tell them congratulations on 125 years of uniqueness. And, you know, Elgin is a very special place when it comes to golf. We've got the Elgin Country Club from 1901, which is private. Certainly my favorite course. That's where I grew up playing, along with Wing Park, because I played there in the junior golf leagues with my local friends. And I played in the programs out there and played a lot of golf there. Then we also have Wing Park, which is the oldest 9-hole municipal golf course in Illinois. And that was opened in 1908. And then we have the Highlands. And the Highlands is the number 2 rated 18-hole public course in Illinois. And that's right on McLean. And that's a portion, not really, but I mean, it was a derivative of the original Spartan Meadows. Spartan Meadows was opened in 1971, and that was surrounding the Elgin Community College. And then at one time, when the Highlands first opened, you went underneath a tunnel and you played 7 holes from the back 9 of the original Spartan Meadows. And then finally, they were able to finish on the east side of McLean, the remainder of Highlands. And the tunnel is still there, but gated off. It has no reason for any access. So now you just turn left or right at Sportsman Way, and you drive east on that road about a quarter mile to the clubhouse of the Highlands. That's where the Grumpy Goat restaurant is. Mm-hmm. Matt loves the name. And they have now that entrance will curve around and go past the baseball diamonds and to the new soccer fields, of which there's also an entrance at the east end that goes where the state hospital is and goes out onto 31. So that will help with traffic. There's going to be a lot of traffic when those soccer fields start playing. And that's going to be a hindrance to a lot of the golfers, I'll tell you. Yeah. And then finally, we have Bowes Creek Country Club, which is also open to the public. They have a unique program there called Member for a Day. So when you play there, you pay a fee to play, and you can play as much as you want that entire day. So let's say you go out there at 7 in the morning. You do have the potential to play 18 holes, have a quick sandwich, and play another 18 holes. You could play 36 holes in one day with a cart. Of course, there's a lot of people. You can't just zip around. But
as fun as it sounds.
As fun as it sounds. I will say this: what's amazing, an amazing statistic in Elgin, is that at Wing Park, carrying his bag when my dad was a young boy, he played 99 holes in one day.
Wow. He had a lot of energy.
I said, why didn't you go out to the 9th hole, the short par 3, and play it, just even if it was dark, you just to play it so you could say you played 100 holes in one day. But he says, at the time we didn't think of it. And he says, I'll tell you, it was dark when we finished, and we had wooden matches that you could light on the cement or something, stick matches they called them. And we had to light that and put it by the cup to putt to it so they could see it.
That's funny.
So that's pretty neat. The new Wing Park clubhouse, the original will remain, of course, but the new edition one is scheduled to open next week sometime, maybe the end of the week, but that's the goal. So make sure you go out there and check out the history wall and the neat pictures of Wing Park golf course and the park as it evolved throughout the years, starting with the Wing family who moved to Elgin in 1842. Well, Matt, we don't have too much more time, do we?
We got about 3 minutes.
3 minutes to go. 3 minutes to go and counting. I want to wish everybody good health out there. If you are struggling with health issues, if you know of anybody, let me know, and I can give a call out there. I hope our friend Steve Heron is doing better with his lost companion, Lexi. And again, I'm going to have Greg and Judy and Steve over soon, but I'm waiting to get a little bit more landscaping done. I'm working so much every single day, and I'll be planting flowers again today. Gonna get the last of the hanging baskets done and a few more pots and just a couple in the ground where there's been a couple branches came down this week. I know that's a surprise to everybody, but I got a few repairs to make, and then I'm going to be done planting flowers and just some foliage and a lot of mulch to go, a lot of mulch work. Grooming and maintenance. But one nice thing, Matt, I haven't had to water.
Right? Exactly.
And there's no better fertilizer than rain. I do put Miracle Grow down. I put Vigoro down. I put a couple others down, different times, different places, but nothing is as good as rain. That's your best fertilizer, and it's a double win because you're not only watering, but you're fertilizing. So I've got some plants that are up on the porch, and I go, if it's going to rain, I go set them out, move them down, move them back up, move them down, move them back up. The ferns, oh boy, they love it. They're hanging in the porch, but I like to put them down and let them get the rainwater. So get well wishes out there. How about some hellos? Hello to my dear wife, Maureen, also known as Peach. She's been busy as can be, doing all sorts of things out there. And I know that we'll both be busy all weekend long. And then hi to the two Kathys. Hi, Catherine Smith. Hope you're feeling better today. I know you're listening in on YouTube. 88-year-old listening on YouTube. She's got it on the computer. Hi, Kath. And then Kathy Newby. She's way younger than 88, but she listens on YouTube. Hi, Kath. There's the two Kathys. And then a hi to everybody else. Arnie, I know you're listening in on your phone. I hope you're doing well, Arnie. And I got to get out and visit you soon. Other than that, I want to remind everybody, visit your non-for-profits, your social clubs, American Legion, Riverside, Turner's. They have great fish fries. Also, RK's, Public House, Paul's Restaurant. Even if you know somebody, go to the Owls Club. And of course, the Eagles. The Eagles has a great fish fry, salmon. They're just off Terrell Road, just a little bit northwest of Elgin. Say hi to Dave the cook there and Debbie, our favorite server. I think that's bringing us up. We're at the end. Have a peach of a weekend, everybody. I hope you survive the storms. And I'll be back next week with more fun, interesting tidbits and a little music history. Have a peach of a day, everybody.